Senate Resolution 6 backers to push Sara Duterte trial. Ito ay article ng Inquirer.net. So naghahanap ng mga backer daw itong Senate. Dito sa ano, marami. Ibang backer pala yan. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros said she would block any premature move to dismiss the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte and would push for a Senate resolution urging the Supreme Court to allow the senators to perform their duty as members of the impeachment court. So sinasabi dito na balak i-block ni Risa Hontiveros na i-dismiss yung trial. Even though meron ng SC ruling. SC ruling nga ba tawag doon? Basta may desisyon ng korte. Ito sabi ni Senator Hontiveros sa kapihan sa Senado Forum. What would we dismiss if there is no piece of evidence or any warm-bodied witness that we, senator judges, have heard? If that happens, we would debate on the issue. I am ready. We in the minority are ready to fight for our arguments, our opinions. If we come to a vote, we will explain each of our votes. So, ayan. On August 6, the senator would discuss and decide on the Supreme Court decision declaring Duterte's impeachment as unconstitutional. So, ayan. August 6? Hindi sa August 6 na gagawin yung ano. Nalito ako, kala ko nung August 6 sinabi, August 1 pa lang ngayon. As it was barred by the 1-year rule against more than one impeachment complaint against the same official and for violating the right to due process. Ayan kasi ang daming delay nitong si Quezon. Speaking of Quezon, Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero said this would give the senator judges enough time to go through the 97-page decision. Hontiveros said she and 3 other senators, Francis Kiko Pangilinan, Paolo Benigno Bam Aquino, and Vicente Tito Soto III have signed a resolution that cites advice and guidelines on how the Senate should move forward from former Supreme Court justices who had questioned the High Court's July 25 ruling. So, noong July 25 pala sinabi yung decision. The senator said that she always had a high respect for the court and expected that it would also show mutual respect for other branches of government in performing their task. Several lawmakers, legal experts, constitutionalists, and former members of the Supreme Court have criticized the court's decision, citing in favor of 2 petitions, including one from Duterte herself, questioning the constitutionality of the articles of impeachment. Some describe the decision as similar to changing the rules in the middle of the game. Diba? May palitan tayo ng ano. Some have emphatically cited the constitutional provision giving the responsibility to impeach an official to the House of Representatives and the sole responsibility of the Senate as the impeachment court to acquit or convict. Ito sabi ni Hontiveros, kung magkakomplay daw siya sa court's decision, my disposition is to find the balance of harmonization between respecting the Supreme Court, upholding our responsibilities in the Senate, and fulfilling our obligations to our fellow Filipinos who expected us to also uphold the accountability of public officials. She said she signed the proposed resolution last Monday on the opening day of the 20th Congress. The plan is to have it signed, hopefully by the majority of the 24 senators, she added. Pangilinan said he had presented the draft resolution to a caucus of the majority last Monday and some she told him that they would review it. So may review na magaganap dun sa ano yun? Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan. Basta yung sa impeachment. Pangilinan. Wala, hindi pala. Nabasa ko na pala yan. So, no comment, Escudero told reporters in a message that he had seen the draft resolution but will await its filing, if at all, for the body's consideration. Despite the court's ruling, Hontiveros is optimistic. So, gusto niya pa rin matuloy itong impeachment trial. Sabi ni Hontiveros, I'm always hopeful, especially in these important processes being delegated to the Senate. Okay. In the draft resolution, the Senate expressed its profound sense that the Supreme Court considered the application of the fairness principle and the doctrine of operative facts in the context of the impeachment proceedings to ensure that actions taken in reliance on previously established legal definitions are recognized as valid and that any new interpretations are applied prospectively. The resolution largely cited the opinion of retired Supreme Court Justice Adolfo Azcuna, one of the framers of the 1987 Constitution, who said the ruling was grossly unfair in how it had knocked down the articles of impeachment signed by 215 House members. So, ayun. Ewan. He said lawmakers followed the Constitution and that this was upheld by a previous court decision which said that an impeachment complaint was only deemed initiated when it had been included in the order of business of the House and then referred to the committee. Azcuna said these two types were not taken with respect to the 3 previous impeachment complaints and therefore this could not be considered as having been initiated. So hindi pa raw nagsisimula daw yung impeachment. Tama ba? Parang. That gave way to the filing of the 4th complaint which became the articles of impeachment. The resolution backed Azcuna, who urged the High Court to issue a supplemental resolution and apply the doctrine of operative facts, which states that the action taken and things done in reliance on a former and then prevailing definition or in the absence of one should be treated as valid. Ito sabi sa draft resolution ng It is the Senate position that reconsideration by the Supreme Court of its ruling would reconcile the constitutional provisions on the Supreme Court's power of judicial review, the House of Representatives' power to initiate impeachment complaints, and the Senate's power to try and decide impeachment cases. It added that this would ensure all powers are given proper effect, consistent with the entrenched principle of constitutional reconstruction that was established in a previous case which stated that one constitutional provision should not negate the other. The Senate and the Supreme Court had locked horns in a previous impeachment trial. So ito yung kay Renato Corona. On February 9, 2012, the court issued a temporary restraining order or TRO, stopping the Senate Impeachment Court from compelling Philippine Savings Bank officials to disclose information on then Chief Justice Renato Corona's foreign currency deposits during his impeachment trial. Panginoon said then that the TRO ties our hands. Pero sabi niya, constitutionally, our hands should not be tied. How can we try this case if the Supreme Court ties our hand and renders some of our interlocutory orders void? Then Senator Antonio Trillanes IV also said that if they can stop us in small matters, how much more in bigger decisions? So parang sinasabi nila na parang nawawalan na raw ata ng power ang Senado dahil sa mga decision ng Korte. Ewan. On February 13, nung nakaraan to ewan ko. Tama, nung nakaraan pa to. Yung kay Renato Corona. After a caucus, the Senate Court, however, voted 13-10 to comply with the TRO but only with regard to foreign currency, not Philippine peso deposits. So, may Philippine peso deposits pa rin sila nakuwang info. Doon na sa foreign currency yung sinunod nilang TRO. Ayun lang naman natin nasa TRO eh. Ayun. So ano masasabi dyan mga kaibigan? Ako, hindi ko na alam. Talaga ba? Comment down below!